Images aren't the only items that you are going to want to be able to bring into your Photoshop documents. There's going to be a lot of times where you need to bring in some vectorized artwork or logos that have been sent to you or that you create as well. So from Photoshop, we're going to go ahead and go back and open our document that we have. And I'm going to as well, I'm going to load Illustrator up because there's going to be a couple steps from Illustrator that I'm going to demonstrate this way as well. So first off, from Photoshop, actually as well from Explorer, I'm going to go and find a vector file. This one here is a logo, and I'm going to do this a couple ways too. I'm going to go ahead and click on the file and drag it up to this top bar here, and I'm going to directly import the vector file and rasterize it at some specific size. So let's see, let's go 16 by 7, and again here there are options that you can change if you so wish. You can change the resolution, which let's go ahead and set it to 300 since our document's resolution is set to 300 as well. Keep the color mode RGB, even though this is just a black and white logo. You can unconstrain your proportions here if you so wish, but like I mentioned in a previous video, if you don't keep it constrained, then it's going to rasterize at a funky size if it stretches or squeezes in some way. So let's keep that constrained. Let's see, I think I had 16, there we go. So let's go ahead and import it at this size, at that resolution, in that color mode. Hit OK, and now this comes in as its own document as a raster image. You can see there is no background on it. That's because in the Illustrator file, this is just a solid shape. The black is just a solid shape. There's no background. So I can bring this in then to my document. I can just drag on it and drop it in here. So that's one way to get that that file in here. I'm going to as well, let's see, I'm going to click and drag on this and then drop it right into this into my document area. You can tell it to crop to certain areas depending on how your file is created in Illustrator. You can have it crop to the bleed, trim, artbox, etc. This is a simple vector file that is created within the document bounding areas, so I don't really care how it comes in. So I'm going to click OK, and again you see this comes in with those little bars on it. That means it's pasting as a smart object, just like the other one did. The benefit to doing this is that the other way it has been rasterized. This way it is still a vector object, so I can scale this. You see it came in really small, but I can scale it up and it's not going to pixelate. And in layers you can see here that this is the layer I just brought in. It's a smart object, and the other layer, there's my raster object. Alright, another way to bring your files over, let's go to Illustrator, and I'm going to open that same file up. There it is. Alright, so here's my vector shape, my logo. I'm going to select on it. I'm going to select all of it, not just one part. I want to bring the whole thing over. So I'm going to select it, it's selected, and what I can do is I can copy this. I can either hit the buttons Control and C, and that'll copy, or I go to Edit, Copy. Either way, I want this copied to my clipboard. So now that's copied to my clipboard, I can come back over here to Photoshop and I can paste this. Either hit Control V for paste or Edit Paste. Alright, and again, there's options to change. I can have this come in, at the pixel size, but I want it as a smart object. That way it stays something that's scalable, something that's still vectorized. If I bring it in as as pixels, then it's going to be raster graphic. So click OK. Here it is again. It's a smart object. It's a vector smart object, and I can enlarge this freely without worry of there being any kind of pixelation to it. I either hit the enter button to accept it or hit the check mark, and now that's in there as another smart object, a vector smart object. One last way to do this from Illustrator. If you have multiple monitors, you have Illustrator open on one screen and Photoshop open on the other. Another real simple way. Oh my, excuse me. There we go. Let's see. With Photoshop open and Illustrator open, you can click on this item, click it, and just drag it. You can drag it directly into Photoshop, straight from Illustrator. Very convenient. I love doing that. And it comes in directly as a vector smart object. So it's another vectorized item in there. So those are some very, very useful and easy ways of bringing in some vector graphics, some vector images, shapes, etc. from Illustrator into Photoshop, into your document. Thanks for watching our video. These are offered by the Solvent Printer Guys as a form of instruction, help, or support to our current customers, future customers, or anyone who finds them useful. Go ahead and click the subscribe button below if you wish to be informed about any upcoming tutorials or FAQs. If you have a suggestion for a video that should be made, please leave a comment below as well. The Solvent Printer Guys offer ink, parts, and support for a variety of Roland, Mutoh, and Mimaki printers. If you have any questions about our products and services, feel free to visit us on the web at solventprinterguys.com.